I hated this program, so now I use it for several things. I am talking about Obsidian, a program I've started to use so many times because it should be so good for taking notes and everything, and I could never figure it out. If I created a note, I could never find it again. But once again, I was suggested I should use it when I wanted to use something for my emails to write them. And then I tried, and I think I've tried 10 times before. This time it stuck. So now I'm going to show you the system I came up with and which works, which is pretty simple and which you can use too. This is how I saw Obsidian earlier. These pretty systems with lots of colors over here and some things in the middle that makes things easy to find, and calendar and all kinds of stuff over here. But this setup is not easy to make, and it might even not fit you. It has used a combination of themes and CSS. So everything it means here is that it's very complicated and you will probably struggle. So I may make this later. I probably will, because I like when things look pretty, and when I have come up with my systems, and I know that I want these reminders here and stuff like that. But right now, no, I keep it simple. So I'm going to remove this again and go back to my new Obsidian system. So the first goal I had was to write daily emails. So I created a folder for them. I'm going to show you in a minute how I do that. But right now I'm just going to show you my simple system. So I have daily emails. I created a template for this list I have up here with weeks. Well, here we are, where I show what I am preparing to promote this week, both for my Make Money Online list and for writers. And then I write the individual emails like that. Very simple, just text. So I wanted a template for this part up here, because this is something I need to create every week. So I simply created another note with the template. And when I'm going to use it for week 22, for example, I simply just double click and make a copy. Let's do that. Now it says week XX1, so I'm going to change that to week 22. No, can't type. And then I'm going to move it up under the daily emails. So I have taken it one step further. I also created a folder for the daily emails, but this is not for your daily emails. You can do that, because I want to keep all my emails in the same folder so that I can close it like this. And now they are not visible. So this is how I use it. There is a specific system for templates. You can add a plugin for it, but it didn't work for me. This simple one works. Later, maybe when I know more about Obsidian, I can use the plugin and all kinds of fancy systems where the template will automatically show up every Sunday, for example. That's what I tried to do, but it didn't work. So I'm going to wait. After I figured out how to make it work with emails, I decided I would do the same with newsletters. I do one newsletter per week. So I have these two published. I have all my planned, and that's simply a note with the planned newsletters that are coming. And then I have a template for the newsletter down here. Same system. I have the overview of what's going into it. When I need this newsletter, I just right-click, make a copy, and then I move it up to the next folder, if this is the next one coming up. This one, I've actually published it today, and I can now move this down to published. It goes live Thursday. As you can see here, the publish date, I haven't written that, but because that's what I have inside my template. And since all that worked, I thought, why not make my checklist here? So now I've made one checklist so far with moving domain. So if I want to move a domain from one web host to another, then I know exactly what to do, so I don't skip a step here. But let me show you how you can get started with all this. So I'm going to close my folders so it looks neat. So down here you have a, what do they call it? A vault. So you can manage vaults here, and I have created 2 so far. And one of the many things now that I like about Obsidian is that you actually have these as normal files. You can find them inside your file system. Let me show you. So here inside Obsidian, we have the 2 vaults I've made right now. The general business one and one for World of Warcraft. I have nothing inside it yet. It will open a new one over here. So you can have 2 or more vaults open at the same time. But when I look at them in the file system on my computer, you can see them over here. So I have nothing inside WoW. So let's take Malka. And there we have what I showed you before, the daily emails, newsletters, and templates. Let's just look at the daily emails. So I have organized them into folders for each week. So if I take this week, week 21, so far I have only written these 3 emails, and this is the overview here. And then these emails, I had one here with an extra, is an MD file, that means a markdown, so I can open it either as text, or in my case I have a program called Markdown Monster, so it will open in that. But let's see if I can open it as text. Open with, I choose it. Okay, let's see, open with Notepad. So here we are. That's how it shows it. That means that even if you create it inside Obsidian, you always have access to your files. It's not a closed system like Notion, for example, where you have no idea where your files will end up. When you start out, you will have nothing inside Obsidian, so you can just create your first vault and then go ahead and fill it up. But I already have a vault here, so I'm going to click on Manage Vaults. And I'm going to create a new vault to show you how it works. So let's just call this vault for solo shortcuts. I can place it in another place if I want, or I can just keep it where it is, which I'm going to do. So I'm going to create. It wants a folder. Okay, going to pick this one like the other ones. And then create, and here we are. So as you can tell, this one has a dark theme. This one, the new one, default is in light theme because it follows the system. But you can change all that in the settings. I'm not going to into this now. So you start with this welcome note, that's all. This is your new vault. Make a note of something, create a link, or try the importer. When you're ready, delete this node and make the vault your own. So let's do that. So I'm going to click there, right click, and delete. So the system is very intuitive. So you right click or you use icons up here to make things. The easiest thing is to make a new node. You just click that, you give it a name, node, and then you can start typing. And that will be your note. And you can do a lot of stuff inside your note. You can make a checklist. So the way I do it is that, once again, I right click, and on the paragraph you have task list. So just click, then you can have task 1, and it automatically continues with task 2, etc. This is very handy for keeping your checklists in one place. So what I would do, and what I did, was I would create a new folder and call it checklists. And then I would keep all my normal checklist inside this folder. So I'm going to drag it up here. Now you can see the text here says moved into checklist, so I'm going to release, and now we have name of node here inside checklist. So I'm going to make a new folder. Just click the icon new folder, give it a name, for example, emails, if that is what you're going to use this for. I use it for this. And then you can make further folders inside here. If you write many emails per week like I do, then you would add another folder, right click, new folder, and then I'm going to call this week 22, for example. And now I can start with the notes inside this folder. And this could be email 1. And this is often what I use for the campaign naming campaign. So I name them after the product I promote. For example, done for you blogs, and then a hyphen, and then M and whatever number of emails I've reached. And then I will, just out of habit, I will use the hashtag to create a headline. That will in fact be the subject line. And I'll write subject line, and then I will write the text of the email like this, and with a link. Like this, and that's my email. That is very easy. You can use Obsidian from so many things. There's a lot of people who uses it for note taking and to keep them organized in the casting system. You can connect all the different things. So in this one I have written about done for you blogs, but it could be that something that related to your emails had something to do with the same creator, for example. So I'm going to make a new email up here. Click new. Oh, it went outside. Never mind. Move it to week 22. So let's say that I'm going to promote a product called Nice Product. This will be my email number 1. And then I'm going to write here with the subject line and the text. And then as a note to myself, and to be able to find products made by the same creator, I will add an internal link. So let's say the creator of this one is called Mickey Mouse. And I'm going to type 2 of the square brackets. It will automatically add the 2 last ones. So now I'm going to just close this one and hit enter. And now, as you can see, it has a link in here. Right now I have nothing on the Mickey Mouse folder, but here I could write the bio, wrote several books and videos, etc. You can add details about the creator over here, or anything you want to connect. Okay, let me go back to this email. So now we have this link. So we say it's the next day. I'm going to create another email for the same nice product. So I'm going to call it Nice Product M2 for email 2. I'm going to add another subject line here, and I'm going to write a text. And then I'm going to connect the 2 because it's the same author of it. So I'm going to do the same here. Make 2 of the square brackets. Start to write, and now you can see it shows up with suggestions, and here is the right one, Mickey Mouse. I'm going to click it, hit enter, and now I have a link. And you can see this in a very nice way by clicking the open graph view. And now you can see Nice Product 1 and 2 are both connected with Mickey Mouse. Right now we don't have many connections, but this will matter later when you have a lot of notes that you can quickly see, okay, this writer here has made several products. You can see in here, Nice Product 1 and 2 email. And then you'll show a lot of connections here, which makes it easy to follow ideas from one note to another, for example, and you can quickly get an overview of what you have and where the connections are. And this will be helpful once you have a lot of notes. So this is a quick overview of Obsidian, used the very simple way so that you can learn to find your way around it. I have used it on my phone in the past, and there I really struggle to find my notes. So I suggest you do what I do. Start by using it on your computer, where you have a larger surface where you can see where things are, and then explore these icons over here. For example, this one will collapse everything on the screen, and you can close them down. For example, if you don't want to see second email, you can use the cross. If you don't want to see the graph view, cross that. Now you have nothing, just a new tab. You also have a panel over here with several things you can use. So play around with it, because there's a lot you can do, but start simple and then just start with a folder and a few notes inside. That will make it easy to figure out, and then you can expand further on as you need it and as you want to with your Obsidian. So I hope this will be helpful for you. I know it is for me, because I use this a lot already, as you can tell, and I'm going to use it more and more in the future.